All right, guys. All right, so this is just like the worst ever camera. It's just not working at all. Hold on. We're gonna have to go old school here. See if that makes a difference on it. And then if that doesn't, then we're gonna have to just bag it, and it is what it is. Well, that's a little better. So that's it. That's what we got. The other camera broke. I don't know. It's probably me doing something, but it is what it is. Here's how I want to do this today. There are so many names to go through. I think the best thing that I can do is go through the ES and the NQ and then just start going through questions. Let me just make sure that this mic picked up right. You know, the minute I started screwing around with all this stuff, it got worse. So, but let's get to it here, guys, and let's make it happen. Let's make the magic happen. So here's what we're going to do here. That is your key level, right? All right, let's go here. And then we're going to get rid of this. All right. I do think you have the potential to retest the lows from yesterday. I do think that is a distinct possibility. I don't know that you are going to really just run right back up. You have a level in here, but you're not really paying attention to it. You're running buckshot all over it. So I really don't care about that. I guess I would want to know if I could hold this right here, or if I can hold this right there. But even that, I kind of ran buckshot over. But that's really how I see it today. And if you got above there, it's this right there. See it? That would be my key area. So that's how I see it right now. And that's how I would view it. And now if I was going to look at the NQ, very similar. And, you know, they might knock it all down this morning and then bid you right back up, which I think is a distinct possibility. There would be your levels. That's how I see it. And I'm not sure, you know, you have some geopolitical tensions that are going to take place this weekend with India. You know, India canceling a lot of orders from U.S. companies. And, you know, they don't really want to be told who they can buy things from. So they canceled a lot of U.S. orders of defense manufacturers. And that, you know, puts them on par with looking at Russia, candidly, as a partner in China. So it's really interesting the way that that's being handled there. But, you know, countries don't want to hear you tell them what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that could carry over into the weekend. Like he usually just pushes back. And if he continues to do that, he's going to have an issue, I think, with India. I think they're going to handle it differently than most countries. And I think you might get headline risk all day on that. I'm going to jump into questions. I'm going to tell you why, because I think we're going to have a lot of different questions today on a lot of different topics. There's so many names to go over. I know Kevin don't want to talk about Boeing, but there's a ton of different names out there. Some days you're the banana, some days you're the tailpipe. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, I guess eggs are good. I mean, it's not really, it's so commoditized. I don't know, man. It's not really my kind of trade. It could totally work, but it's not my kind of trade, dude. It really isn't, because it's so, like, you just don't know what you're going to get next time on earnings. You really just don't know. Bros is interesting because of the commodity space. I like Bros and I like BRCC. I'm surprised that BRCC is such a dumpster fire, but it is. I think it's such a dumpster fire, but it is. I drink their coffee all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Pardon me. I don't really like the fact that you didn't go anywhere. You'd want to make sure that you actually break out over that and go somewhere, because you stopped at the same area that you've been stopping in. So I don't know that I would continue to do that. You're right there. Say it. So from that top to down, or from this top over, all your volume, there's your point of control, and there's your value high. Like, do you really want to buy there? Probably not. You probably want to get through that first. Okay. I don't know what you're going to do here at BA. I think you really have to look at, like, that's not my kind of chart at all. These kinds of bars, I don't know how much is up here. It's like when these happen, that's my kind of chart, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, if we break this, it's over. And it's very rare to break that. And this is the exact same thing. Like, it's like that forceful. Like, when you see something like that, you're like, oh, we're just, you might not make money, but you can't even think of buying it till you go get over this high. Like, right? Like, watch. Like, if I mark that off, if you were a long-term person, you might argue, well, when was the time to buy it? Now, I would argue that you really didn't have a really long, bar until you had something in here like that. And historically, like, when did it really break out of that level? When it started closing above that. So these bars are not to be trifled with, man. And right now you're at the low end of that bar. You're right here. So do you really want to get involved there? You can try, but I don't know what the hurry is. I really don't, Kev, on that one. It is the place to be pre-market. What's up, Julian? All right, let's do it. So I'm short coin. I really don't have a care in the world. So there's my 55. I can't get over it. They priced their offering, and now that they know what they got, they're going to start leaning on it. Earnings are out. What's the Harry? Why do I have to get out of it? I see no reason to get out of my short, like none. Like, not one reason that I have to get out of that. I mean, where am I wrong? I always look at, like, where I'm wrong. Like, I always try to take the other side of my trades. I'll always look at it and go, like, do I want to buy? Would I be long here? Only if I didn't love myself. And clearly I do. Hold on. So I don't see it that way. I mean, where are you going? Like, why? Like, that's an 8, a 5, and a 3. Maybe, like, I don't know. It's got to get over the 55 for me to even consider doing anything with it. God, this is great coffee. This is actually Black Rifle Freedom Roast. You can actually taste the freedom in each cup of coffee. Circle. No, I got involved in all that nonsense yesterday. I almost had a falling down episode. I'm not going near this. And that fly, all I kept hearing about is this thing being oversubscribed. I fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Yesterday, John, I was the tailpipe. Freaking so annoyed because I had such a great trade in one of my names. And then I got Wi-Fi'd. That's about as nasty as you can get, really. Like, you can't really get more nasty than that. Like, you broke VWAP, right? You tried to lift, and now you're closing at the low. Now, I will say this. You see this quarter coming up? There are earnings quarters. Whenever you are a first IPO company, they pack it in. They pack that first quarter. So if that first quarter is a dud, man, oh man. So give me a second here, guys. All right, sorry. So for me, looking at something like this, I wouldn't go near it. Like, I think the quarter could be good, but I don't know. You're throwing a dart against the wall. These were complete busts, in my opinion. Absolute utter busts, both of them. This fly, utter bust. Probably breaks. The fact that these things were oversubscribed was just an outright lie. Just literally outright lie. I tried to short this. I couldn't even find stock to short it with. So they just really set a lot of people up with these things yesterday. So that's not a really good sign for the market either. But I started buying this like when it opened. I think I paid 21. I waited a little bit, like 21 3/4. And I'm like, all right, I'll scale in with my stop being 17. And then they just started systematically selling. I'm like, all right, well, this is going to break bid. And it did. But yeah, I got Wi-Fi'd yesterday. So no thank you on this stuff. And that's not a really good sign for the market short term when these things are bidding up like that and then they're just gapping them down. So I do think you're seeing some rotation into these kinds of names. I do own DG, but I think you are seeing some kind of rotation into those kinds of names, into the more value names. So I own DG, MO, like you start looking at these things, BTI, these things are at all-time highs. Not a care in the world. No one's paying attention to them. Philip Morris, nobody wanted to buy it, right? Did they quit smoking here? Nope. No, they did not. So to me, there's a lot of rotation into cheaper names. But that fly, I wouldn't go near. RKLB, I haven't listened to, Julian. And I know people are trading it. They're trading it in the community right now. I mean, you have a perfect pendant here. And you've stopped on an area. I mean, like, you have an area where you could say, I mean, that's pretty clear where you don't want it to close below, right? So as long as you're not closing below that, maybe you have something. Good morning from Boston. Good morning from Miami. Hi, you're welcome, Mom. Have a good day, man. Sophie Sound AVAH. So you started to see this yesterday with like, not so much sound, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, look, I mean, you can see it. It's all in there, man. Like, not me, not here. Like, I'd be a net seller. I'd already be out, candidly. If I saw the way you hit that and rejected, let's go take a look at. Yep, see it. So, like the way you're hitting that area and you're rejecting, I'd already be gone. Even though that's actually setting up a pendant to lift, and it's setting up the same pattern to lift as it's been doing. You see it, down, up, down, up. You can see it, right? So stocks have personalities, believe it or not. And they trade like the people that trade them. But that level, no, not today, Satan. So I'd have to watch that. Sophie, I thought that, when I get stuff like this, I got to work that off. I think that they have something there. Like when because I went on the website, I'm like, okay, what's up? What's the deal here? And I started screwing around with it. I'm like, oh, I get this. Like they're going to kill it. And, it came all the way back down to 8, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And then from there, it just, exploded. But what's the, why is this something that you really want to own long term? Yeah, I do. I think it is. Do I need to buy it now? No. You have this wick and you have this whole bar up in here and you can't get through any of it. I wouldn't go near it. A lot of the guys are playing hood and they're doing pretty well with it. Very different chart. You have your doji up here. Maybe you flip it, maybe you don't. You're also above your earnings bar, which is always very important because that means that those people that were playing the earnings, right, they've already made their money and they're moved on, and now you're above that bar. And also just focus on the bars that even if you're not above, that have new all-time high closes, because algos really can't do that. It takes too much money. They can get you there. They can get you a new high or a new low, but they can't keep you at the close. So you're kind of wedged in. So if you look at that break, right, you'd say, all right, well, what's that measured move? Because you always want to target, right? You kind of want to know where you're going. You just don't want to get in the car and drive, although sometimes that's a lot of fun. But you'd want to kind of just look at this and go, okay, if we break out of this, it's blue skies. Whenever you have blue skies, the easiest thing to do is just drop a line. Just look at a fib and say, okay, well, that's where it could take me. That's the first thing you could do. The other thing you can do is just measure that sucker. So you're looking at like 126 on the breakout from a swing. The other thing you can do is just measure it from this point. And usually it's the same, right? So you would just measure from top to bottom and you would just drop it here and go, okay, well, it's at 18%. So then you would come here and sometimes it's the same. This is going to be a little different, I think, but you would just go here and go 18%, and that's going to put you right around here. You always do percentages. That's going to put you at 134. So, you have this range up here where it would take you to. So if you said, I'm going to do it based upon the measure of the base, the depth of the base, and the first fib, right, then that's going to get you this band of area. So somewhere in here would be your target. Right? Maybe you're better off using an area than an exact number, but that would be your target on the trade. I think that's a better way of doing it, right? The low target, the high target, because one's going to be the measure of the base, the other's going to be the fib, the retracement. That's how I say it, man. AVAH, please don't be a penny stock, please. You see this word, healthcare? No. Just like, no. Like the idea of buying UNH, I don't know what's wrong with people. Or Citigroup, or Citigroup, CI, or any of these. The other day I had all these hospitals I was going to short. And then, my ADD kicked in. I didn't do it. But like, man, my greatest short, the one I haven't had to worry about, like, it's a no-brainer. I actually even went long on the earnings because they're like, oh, no, we're going to figure it all out. I was like, no, you're really not. But I actually think I was live trading that at the time, pre-market. But oh my God, man, I got 8 hours of sleep last night. My body's like, what was that? Maybe that means I need more sleep. I don't know what it means. I usually get like 4, and I can't figure it out for the life of me. But anyway, man, I got 8 hours. I'm freaking exhausted. These companies are in so much trouble, like so much. And they need to cut costs, and they're going to go after them. And I'm telling you, like, there's another shoe coming here big time. This crap they're doing with the social media where they got everybody in the other day. Oh, Buffett's going to take a stake. Is he? Is he? Oh, he's masking it. He doesn't want people to know, doesn't he? Because he's the first one out there making sure everybody knows, so the stock goes up. So with, his all shucks, golly me attitude. Meanwhile, you guys don't realize why you're paying $10 more in gas per barrel of oil. Anyway, was that out loud? So when you look at something like UNH, like, or any of these names, man, like Goldman just had a whole piece on this thing, and someone read it. I think it was Jess that had it. I haven't read it yet. I have it. I haven't read it, but they're talking about like there's reasons to consider that these names are going a lot lower, like a lot lower, and I think they are. It's not a sustainable business. Like, I don't know what people are doing with that have like families, and I guess you have to stay at a company to get the healthcare, right? Because like I look at what I pay, and I look at what I pay for, family members, because I pay for some of my family members, and it's not cheap, like at all. Like, it's literally thousands a month. Like, I don't know what people are doing. When I look at it, it's like, oh my God, like this is a real number. And I do think in this administration, something is going to happen with it. And I think it's going to happen because of Kennedy, personally. And I don't know what that is, but I can't think it's going to be good. I actually think it's going to be great for biotech. But I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be way better for biotech than people think. But I think it's going to be really bad for pharma. And I think it's going to be really bad for the healthcare system. So it's just not sustainable at all, what we've been doing. It's just not, man. How did I get on this rant? Did someone ask me a question? Someone had to say something. Oh, AVAH. You triggered me. Good morning from Phoenix. Good morning from Miami. Breaking Bad was good. That was a good show. No. Is that Ricardo? One from Virginia. It's too thin for me. I wish I knew why it's doing what it's doing. Did you see them sending poop balloons back to one another? Like, I mean, I swear to God, sometimes I think we're living in a simulation. I mean, to go through the trouble to do that. I can't go near that. It's too thin. But I think you're onto something there. OSK is super interesting. This makes a tremendous amount of sense. Yeah. Like a tremendous, like if you're gonna buy a truck right now, right? That's them, correct? I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure that I'm right on them, because it's been a while since I traded the sucker. They're in Wisconsin. Farm and heavy construction. Purpose-built vehicles equipment. Operates through access, defense, and vacational segment. The company was formerly known as Oshkosh Truck, it's headquartered in Wisconsin, but they build in the US, right? That's the thing, like they're US built. So I'm pretty sure on that. Let's go and check, make sure I'm right on that before I say that. This camera's ridiculous. This whole setup's ridiculous. Okay, so they have 29 manufacturing facilities worldwide. So no. They build in 8 states. All their defense is built out of Wisconsin. All their fire and emergency division is built out of Wisconsin. All their commercial vehicles are built out of Minnesota. Final assembly, machine, painting, and testing facilities are all in Wisconsin. Modern, classy, assemble plant featuring is done in South Carolina. Bradenburg in Texas is where they build their trailers. Access equipment is assembled here for Asian markets. But so they have, okay, so the majority of manufacturing is here. Yeah, that's why it's doing so well. And that's probably going to continue. That's super interesting. That's really interesting. That's really a mistake on my part to not have been aware of this. Thank you. And that's why everyone's getting ahead of it. That's why they just crushed. So I think you got to back, you know, it's not my kind of trade here, but yeah, like that's going to go a lot higher. You're going to go a lot higher because everyone's going to buy from them. Everybody. It's a double from that bottom. Yep. I like that a lot, man. I like that a lot. Thank you. No, I wouldn't go near that, Ricardo. I think you're onto something, brother, with that trade, the Oshkosh. BLSH. What's up, Holly? BLSH. It's not up yet. I don't know. I have no idea. It's got to open. What's going on, Lynn? Yeah, people killed it in the room on this thing. I don't have a position in it, but they're killing it. I would just watch that level we marked off. 903. I got to get through this. Morning from New Jersey. Morning from Miami. I'd be careful shorting shop. You might be right today. What's up, Frank? Good morning from Knoxville. Good morning from Miami. Cool hat. I don't think I can pull that hat off. I think it's going down, but I'd be careful of earnings. Montreal's beautiful, man. I got to do some road trips. I really do. People think I live this exciting life. I basically like work and gym. What's up, Albino? What else we got? Good morning from Allentown. XLU looks great. I think that the headlines are very interesting too. I do agree with that. I do think people might buy more gold. They don't really seem to be in a hurry though, bro, like at all. So then it leads us to some other things here, right? Like, okay, well, they're not really buying gold. So then I looked at XLU and I just think that people are like, we're going to need power. I don't know what this guy's doing. So we're just going to go out there and buy yield. I really feel that way. So I started looking at like Southern Company and you can see it and Duke. And so like I started looking at it and then just going, well, how much, like, what am I really going to make now? You know? So no. but it's there, dude. It's definitely there. So you start thinking about the other ones, like you maybe get more aggressive, like NEP. I'm just not feeling them at all. I have some JP Morgan stuff like that. Like these are the ones that I play with. JEPI, JEPQ. So I do think they make sense. It depends what you're trying to do. What's up, Katie? Long time no see. Lily, I own. I sold a bunch of puts yesterday on it to open. I guess I'm doing okay with them. Where am I at? 51? Yeah, I'll be fine. I actually bought it long term yesterday in like a really long term account, and I won't even look at it. I think a year from now, people are going to be kicking themselves, but doesn't mean I'm not in for more pain. Usually you can tell if you're in for more pain or not. Like if you, after all the options expire today, right, all the puts, because you can have other people close their puts today. After that, what you do is just watch and then watch how it goes. What's super interesting to me so far, and I'm only at 8:37. I'm going to just make sure I get through everybody today because I started late. But so far, nobody's saying, hey, should we be buying software? No one's looking at that. Like no one said to me, hey, what about the CRM? Like nobody's looking at CRM down. No one's talking about crowd down. Like usually I get some bottom feeders. It's really interesting to me. So no one mentioned APP yet. It's super interesting. So there's two things I always look at. What is most active that people are avoiding, and what is the thing that people are talking about the most? That's why I love doing these. What's up, brother? Oh, there it is, APP. So, I mean, just disclosure, I own this. I think these shorts are going to get freaking smoked. I'm watching the level here and just seeing how it's going to go. Give me a second here. But I think that they're going to get absolutely, unequivocally smoked. And I got to do this real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay. What is this? Give me a second. I'm sorry. I don't know. Now it's giving me something new. Sorry. I don't know why I did that. I hate when they do stuff like that. It's so annoying. But like something like this, like you have a massive short position in that. So I really think when you see stuff like that, like I don't know why this is doing all this stuff from all over the place now. Hold on one second. I don't know what just happened here. Why are you doing this? Give me 1 second, guys. Just give me a second here. Okay. Okay, sorry. It's doing something. The whole system got updated. It's just so weird. But I'd be super careful if I was short this thing. Like I'd be really freaking nervous. Like really nervous. And I'll just tell you why. Like all these shorts, these guys have been getting smoked. Like all of them have been getting smoked. All of them. And like when I go through them, I did this last night. I was walking people through this. Like we shorted this up here. Now I shorted it like a little later, but we shorted this. We killed it on the short. The people that like Muddy Waters, all those guys, like they're getting destroyed on their ideas. If they're even still in them, most of them are not. Most of them get out or hedge the moment that they put them on the tape. But a lot of these ideas, they just were absolute garbage ideas. And they're just not working. Like here's FTAI, and they smoked it down to 74. You know, people shorted this. You know, people don't understand their motives. Like they're not altruistic. Doesn't mean they can't be right, but they're not altruistic. And so, you know, some of these things are doubles. If you're still short RBLX from their call at like 50, you got smoked. So like APP, the way that that's breaking out, man, oh man, like I'd be super, super careful there, like super careful, because there's no reason that you can't go higher now. Earnings were great. The stock's getting upgrades. You have this huge cup and handle. I mean, 518 is just probably a matter of time. So yeah, I wouldn't really play around with that. Let's see what else we got here. EWJ. EWJ. I don't know how it doesn't go higher. I mean, I really don't know how you're not going to go higher. You're about to hit all this growth. They're talking about raising rates again. You probably saw that, Jacob. I really don't know how it doesn't go higher. What is it called? MX Master 3S Mouths. You know, someone sent me this whole thing. I'll look it up now. So someone sent me this whole thing on my mouse and how they had to stop watching the video because I had this thing. I threw it away. It got on my nerves. Too many buttons. I had this. I threw it away. It was nuts. Too many buttons. Side buttons, top buttons. It's exhausting. It's too much. It's too much. You got to deal with it. That was too much. It's like $100. Now it's a paperweight. Well, I don't even have it anymore. It's a paperweight for someone. Oh, thanks. 26 years of doing this. Too many lines. Thanks, man. It is if they do. And I think you're going to get headlines like that, but I don't think they will. Bottom on TSS. I don't know the story, guys. I don't know the story. I don't know why I would touch this, and I don't know the story. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in a Dutch hinge. I don't know why you're up. You're in healthcare, right? I mean, I see the word health. I'm not going near it. It doesn't mean I'm right. UNH, what merger? Like, dude, this thing's like, I say this all the time to people, like, zero is a real number. And people are like, oh, it could, okay. Like, you'd be surprised, man, where some of this stuff could go. I can't do awful coffee. This is awesome. Freedom roast. That sounds nice. I don't think I've never been there. Never been to Vienna. I'm short TTD. I've never been there. They have a big event there. I was going to go to it. I'm short this. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm just leaving it alone. That was a dumpster fire of a quarter. Absolute dumpster fire. So the only thing you do with this is wait for it to rally and short more. That's your neckline. Like that's where you'd want to know that you're going to try to rally to that neckline. But I'll show you exactly what I did was this. So see that? See the 5? See the top of this? Drop it to a 1. That was my stop. I had to close above that and I couldn't. And so I just left it on. I got concerned a little bit on this. And then, because you never know what they're going to say on the call, but then I was like, no, you're toast. And then you can just kind of see the death march all night long. These are the easiest trades in the world, guys. Like, you could just make money at understanding conference calls. You really could. 9:15. I'm going to have to really rush this now. I would not be short RBLX. It's got to be in your face, right? I mean, there's your pre-market high. You just make sure there it is. Make sure you get under that. Good morning from Denver. Good morning from Miami. CoreWeave. Let's do MP because I'm surprised I didn't get more questions on that. Personally, this has a huge short in it. If they're not going to panic it, I would just watch the previous close, because if you break the previous close, you're going to have a problem. And that might be it. You're going to have a lot of calls on this that are going to expire today, so you're going to get pressure on it. What's up, Journal? Thanks, Julian. And it's very crowded short. DOCN, that actually looked good yesterday. Man, did they fade that? Talk about fade the black. Jesus. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch it. No, the thing is, like, what if they're right? Like they're not wrong all the time. Like they're not wrong. Like, you have to respect like their research when they look at that stuff. I don't have to agree with them, right? But I have to respect the research. Like, if Hindenburg writes something, I don't have to think that their intentions are altruistic, or I don't have to agree with them. But I have to respect the research that they've done on it and then go, okay, is there something there? Now, I don't think Hindenburg even did APP. I think it was Muddy Waters that finally jumped on the bandwagon after everybody else. But you still have to look at the research and respect it, even if you don't agree with it. So then in the back of my head, it's like, what if they write? What if they're right and I come in one day and I'm at 280? Like, I'm not going to like that. So that's kind of how I look at it. I got to jump, guys. Hope that helps, Miranda. Trade to win. Have a good weekend. Saturday's video will be